let's talk about skill transferability factor, which is the third and one of the more important part of the comprehensive ranking system. Skill transferability factor basically deals with your education and your work experience. Okay. uh, Education. Now here, the maximum points that you can get under this sub factor is 100. Okay. But there is a combination, as you can see in this chart also, there is a combination of your official language proficiency and your education, or your Canadian work experience and your education, which enables you to score these points. So under education, let's talk about education. Okay, so under education, you can get a maximum of 50 points. Okay, now here, if your language proficiency is more than 9 and you have a master's, you get 50 points. Or if you have a master's and you have more than 2 years of Canada experience, you get a maximum of 50 points. Okay, now you might satisfy both of them, right? For a person who is good in English, has stayed more than 4 years have worked more than 4 years in Canada with a master's, he might think I might get 100 points here. But no, under each of these categories you can score 50 points, but ultimately only 50 points would be added to your final score. So even though you are eligible for more than 50 points, what matters is the 50 points that you get. So under education, you get 50 points, and under foreign work experience, you can get a maximum of 50 points. So how to score under foreign work experience? How to score this maximum 50 points? It again depends on your official language and your Canadian work experience. Okay, so if you have a foreign work experience of more than 3 years and a language proficiency of more than 9, you're golden. You get 50 points. Or if you have a foreign work experience of 3 years and a Canadian work experience of 2 years, at least 2 years, then you get a maximum of 50 points. So for foreign work experience, if you have just worked in Canada for 1 year and you have worked in say you have worked in India for 10 years, but you have only worked in Canada for 1 year, so you don't get 50 points under foreign work experience B. But if you have worked in India for 10 years and if your English proficiency is good, then you can still score 50 points for the foreign work experience. So that is how it works. It under each subcategory, it still gives you a chance to score the maximum points. It's not that if you have not worked in Canada for 2 years, you lose these 50 points. No, you can still make up that with a good language test. Similarly for education, right? Your education is a master's. You have worked hard for that master's, but if your Canada work experience is low, you can still make that up with a good language score. Okay, and then certificate of qualification. If you have any certificate of qualification, this is mostly for any kind of licensed work or licensed trade. If you have a certificate of qualification from Canada, and if you have a CLB of more than 7, you can get 50 points. So under these, so if you look into the skill transferability factor, has 3 subcategories under which you can score maximum of 50 points. But ultimately, when all the points are calculated under this skill transferability factor, even though it can total up to 200, you will get only 100 points. So that is how you should look at this factor. Okay, so make sure that you score good in your language, and then I think most of these factors can be taken care of. I have seen that if you have done a master's and you have a good English and have worked even outside Canada for 4, 5, 6 years, this you can score a maximum in this. Because understand this, right? You don't even need a Canada work experience to scoring maximum here. You just need a master's and a good English, and work experience of more than 5 years. So that's the summary of this skill transferability factor. You can still score it without even landing a foot in Canada, and you can still score maximum of 100 points under this factor. Okay. So that is how the skill transferability factor works.